So, what's going on guys, Kaid's here, welcome back to a brand new video. And today I'll show you all the new updated video settings for Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 2. Bunch of crazy stuff that will help to improve your performance in Fortnite, no matter how good or how bad your PC is. There are a bunch of important game breaking settings which you should know, even if you have one of the best GPUs possible, the same as I do. My GPU kept on crashing and I didn't get the best performance, so I researched everything, looked into the patches and everything else, and here's what I found. And without any further ado, let's get right into it. Then take a look at the first things first. Windows mode, in my opinion, always should be on full screen. Resolution should be 1920 by 1080 or whatever resolution your monitor supports. So then for the frames, if you have a bad PC and for example a 16Hz monitor, which is basically 90%, then you should probably put this on 60 FPS. You don't want to overload your PC and you don't want, for example, 120 FPS because your monitor only outputs 60. So whatever your monitor's output resolution is, you put the same thing. If you have just like a cheap monitor, you don't have to look anything up. You probably just need 60 FPS. But if you have a little bit better, then go for 120, 144. Or like I do, I have 240 Hz monitors, so I have 240 FPS cap. Never go unlimited because then your GPU and CPU will run at 100% and you just don't want to overload that so your game could run smoothly. Then for the brightness, choose whatever you want. I keep it at 100%, and if I want to change it, then I change in the normal monitor settings. For this thing, don't change anything here. Then colorblind mode is off and the strength of it is 0. So then take a look at the graphics quality, everything put on low or off. I know a bunch of streamers, for example, just have one thing, like for example textures on Epic, but to be honest, you really don't need that, especially if you're not recording. If you're recording, then I would put, in my opinion, view distance on far and textures on high, but it really doesn't give you much and it takes a lot out of your GPU. So if you want the game to run smoothly and for example you want more FPS, then put all of these things off or on near. I have a $3,000 PC and I still have everything on off to get the best performance and stuff like that. Then for VSync, always you would want to be that off, and motion blur as well. Then for show FPS, in my opinion, I like to see how much FPS I have. Sometimes if I lag, then I see either way that is ping, so that is either way my internet or my computer. So I always have show FPS on. Then direct version X, in my opinion, I should always recommend you to go for 11. 99% of computers support 11 and some really high, for example mine, support 12, but it's really laggy, so you never want to do that. So in my opinion, keep it direct 11, and if the settings update and the 12 is worth it, I'll let you know in the next video. Then really important things that a lot of content creators really don't tell you is that allow multi-rendering should always be on, so always have it on. It will improve your FPS a lot better. And another important thing which I always see for everyone using off, in my opinion, you should always keep it on. Okay, so in a few seconds I'll try to explain you why. First things first, whenever you record or make videos in far and for example put this all settings on high, never put post processing on anything else, always keep it on low. But for example, if you want better settings or better quality like me whenever I record on videos, then you for sure want to put this on high or ultra, and then a lot of times my GPU will crash or it will just stop in the middle of the game or recording. So you always want use GPU crash debugging. It will report any issues you have on your GPU and it will fix it. So for example, for me, this thing was always on off because all the other streamers and YouTubers had it on off. I try to put it on and it has never crashed for me. Always put it on. It's really important, especially if you play creative and look into creative replays. I do my videos and record from that, so it kept on crashing, especially using this high settings, which I only use for creative replays. So if you want to do that, always keep it on. But for example, if you have all of your settings on off, which you should be using on gameplays, then it doesn't that much matter, but in creative it's a huge thing, so always put it on if you play creative or if you use the replay system. Then a lot of things are just your own personal preference. In my opinion, one huge thing that will lower your GPU overload and will give you better performance is replay. So most of the time all of your things will be on. Put it on off, it will just unload about 5-10% of performance. Yes, you will not be recording any replays, but 99% people don't usually use them or whatever, so put them all of them on off. But if you really want replays, you can put, for example, only 1 or 2 on, so it would remove a little bit performance but still would have as good quality as possible. And then one of the new things as well that was added in the new Fortnite is this thing, which is licensed emote audio. So basically whenever someone will do emotes, you want to mute them all if you're recording, so your videos and everything else would not get demonetized by the YouTube. As far as that, everything should be the same. And as far as everything else, it's on your own personal preference. In my opinion, all of these things should be on. And for example, I really don't like show of spectator count, so I just put it on off and everything else on. So you would get the best performance. You would see your ping on the right corner of your map and stuff like that. And basically that's that. If you want me to go and look into mouse sensitivity, then let me know and I'll look into the next video. I'll explain what those things do and how you can get your own personal best sensitivity, what things you should do, what programs you should install for a mouse, and for example, what are the best mouses. So if you want me to look into that, let me know in the comment section down below. But as far as everything else, I appreciate it for watching and I hope you enjoyed. I try to explain everything as fast as possible so you wouldn't waste your time. And while you're doing that, don't forget to click that like and subscribe to keep up to date with every video, top 10 list or what I make, which is every single day. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. My name is Kaid. You have an amazing day and I shall see you in the next video. Take it easy. Peace.
Yo, I ain't here for the money.